Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blakert_CS channel, where tonight Zeph and I are going to be taking you through SportsBetExpert versus Unreal Nightmare. And Zeph, I think on paper this one might be a little bit one-sided, but I still think that Unreal Nightmare should be able to put up a good fight. SportsBetExpert, your usual five suspects of Modem, Shane, Peeping, Consti, and Infinite. I know Modem is the more recent addition, but Unreal Nightmare also working with one of their own, that being Rue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had the very good pleasure of watching Rue kind of grow as a player. Many seasons ago, I saw him back on that Omen Esports roster with under the leadership of Far, and they made an absolute storm of a run there to qualify for Advance. And then since then, all five of those players from Omen have been absolutely phenomenal. Fortunately, didn't really work out in the end for them, but we get to see Rue have another chance at redemption here on this new Unreal Nightmare roster, and I think he's an absolute perfect fit for him.
Yeah, SportsBetExpert, currently at 5-0. Unreal Nightmare, a little bit of growing pains. But I have been able to share some words with Coach Jeff LaFlavor, and apparently Rue has been a good fit, but Brox is shutting everything down ramp early.
Yeah, Brox is also one of those heavy hitters for this Nightmare roster, and it's currently a nightmare for SportsBetExpert. There's three men stay alive on the CT side, and you know, Blake, one of the matchups I'm really looking forward to here is Consti versus Brox. We already know what Consti can do. He's absolutely phenomenal in the clutch with the AWP, but Brox is so good at these early frags, early mid-round type of plays, and I think the two of them, it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, since I've had the opportunity to really cast Unreal Nightmare slash Rebel slash FRZ slash Maverick back when they went by the latter of the two names, Brox was one of the standout players for Unreal Nightmare with that AWP, and so I 100% agree with you. I think this is going to be a great benchmark for Brox to see whether or not he's able to hang with the big dogs in terms of his opping potential.
This should be a very convincing round here for Unreal Nightmare. Little to no investment whatsoever on the side of SBE. Brox going to open things up. Long range kill. Allow the SMGs to shine on through, farm some cash. Shane's going to find one. Infinite finds another. So it's a 1v3 for Infinite. Surely there's no damn way he's able to make something out of this round, but still 2 kills nonetheless for SBE. That will go very well for them in their pockets. He's just going to try and play the time, play the men, and hunt down maybe a third here, as Infinite might have an opportunity to cast Sharpie off guard. He's only got the Mag 7, and against a long-range fight, the MP7, I'm not really too sure if he's going to be able to win that. He's going to actually go up for the boost onto Marshmallow, and is going to trifle with that rifle over in Garage. Jenny, nobody's really actually looking this way, so he might be able to be gifted a frag here. There's one. As Infinite making lots of noise. Has to tuck his head, though. Make sure the Garage player can't find him. He's actually faked the jump down. He wants to trifle with this once more. Back on top. Brox is buried. Ooh, he spotted the Mag 7 shot. Brox should swing, able to find the kill. And sure, Unreal Nightmare, they win the round, but my goodness, that was costly.
Oh, and Brox doesn't get the rifle either, so a little bit more of a investment that Unreal Nightmare are going to have to make into round 3, but this is where the rifles are going to be on display for SportsBetExpert, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen too much of SportsBetExpert's nuke, and so I'm interested to see if they go with that kind of what feels like a cookie-cutter game plan in terms of deploying the outside smokes early on to create that sort of misinformation as to whether or not SBE are actually going to follow through with the util outside, because I feel like that's a very blank slate kind of strat. You set up the outside smokes, have a couple of people behind them early and show that presence, and then later in the half start to throw the outside smokes and not have anything behind it. But Peeping isn't going to play it slow at all. Already taking space down towards Secret. Infinite and Modem are a little bit slower around the curve, but I think that's by design. Allow Peeping to collect some information. And as Jenny collects the kill onto Shane, it's now going to put SBE in a position where they feel like they have to pivot right back into this A-bomb site.
Here they come. Modem and Infinite wanting to lead the charge here through Mini. Constant's going to throw supportive flashes over the top, but Modem's able to find one with Rue going down as well. A blown smoke gives a chance for Brox, but he's going to go down, but caught off guard. Sharpie with the Mag 7. Jenny through the smoke. Find Modem, and the round swings back into the favor of Unreal Nightmares. And you mentioned SBE. They haven't played Nuke yet here in ESEA League, but just taking a look at their stats briefly, I mean, they've got a 63% win rate in 2026 so far at LAN events such as Frag St. Clair. It's up to Consti in 1 versus 3. He is so deadly in these clutches. He won't have his big green with him. for this attempt. With the green Galil, maybe he can make the magic happen. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Both Jackro and Jenny not wanting to swing on their lonesome. Doing the high-low positioning should be absolutely impossible here for Consti, especially with his health. Nobody's going to be there for him. Jackro finds it. An Unreal Nightmare. Go 3-0.
Yeah, and I think the success from Unreal Nightmare had come down to the early frag that was found by Jenny. And I feel like in that man disadvantage, it felt like SportsBetExpert just had to kind of gather the forces where they already had them and make a quick pivot into that A bomb site. I mean, there was the potential for SBE to make their way down secret and continue with the B push, which felt like the proper of the two options. But still, in the moment, it's kind of going to be hard to make an assumption as to where Unreal Nightmare are going to be playing, especially if you've already made a lot of presence outside that leads SBE to think that there is already rotations down based off of the information they have given up. But another set of the outside smokes will be deployed. And already Peeping is looking to take charge again down secret. Rue early on the rotation through the vents and is kind of on an island at the current moment in time. We see Brox with the M4A1S just playing deep into CT spawn. And Jenny is going to be the next line of defense if Rue falters.
Yeah, and he opened that double door as well to give him a little bit of an escape route, but that nade's going to be so costly. Damages them all. Rue able to find one, but now put under the pressure. He has to back off with the molly in support. Fox and Jenny to be able to find that crossfire. Jenny finds a nice double spray, but Infinite shuts him down with Sec 9, and it's all the walls closing in around him. Unreal Nightmare having a stellar CT side to start with, and keep in mind as well, I mean, this is their best side of the map on Nuke. I mean, they played it twice already in ESEA League. They're 1-for-1 on it. Well, a 71% CT side win rate. And if they can get a couple rounds here, quite a few really on this CT side, that might put SportsBetExpert under a little bit of stress.
Yeah, and in all honesty, it feels like this core of Jackro, Brox, and Sharpie, this map of Nuke is one of their best. So it's surprising to see that SportsBetExpert actually allowed this through the veto, to be completely honest with you, as compared to maybe a Dust or a Mirage or even an Anubis, where things get a little bit more scrappy and aren't as set. And I mean, you can see the set plays already taking place. Brox has that op into Big Garage, is waiting for a wide swing, but as soon as the shot is made, then Jackro should go swinging. There's flashbangs in order, but Jackro is immediately shut down. And the op of Brox not going to have an effect here in round 5. So with the outside smokes deployed, there's going to be a constant push back into what was supposed to be secret, but instead it's going to be in the garage as SPA continue their crawl outside.
This is dangerous from Rue. He's going to get caught off guard here. Oh, you think he'd spot the corner there. That's normal 4x3 for you. It's a flawless round so far for SBE. And it's up to Jenny. Another clutch, but he's currently out of commission over towards the lower site. And SBE certainly cracked the case here on outside. And, you know, sure, Peeping gets that opening kill, but I feel like more importantly, I think that kill Modem found on Brox, the tap on the headshot, removing the AWP out of the round, gives him so much more space to take outside, and then eventually causes the wrap on Rue, not leaving Unreal Nightmares any room to maneuver. Now this should be SBE finding their first, but it's going to be up to Jenny to see if he can hold on towards this AK.
Yeah,
and
with the changes to the bomb radius, he should be able to. He should be able to save here.
Should be. I was going to say, I haven't played Nuke since the update came out. Will he live here?
He should be able to.
Okay.
I think the bomb radius you're allowed. I know if the bomb is planted to A site, you can save it on T roof as well as on the B site. Nobody taking even a lick of damage from that bomb explosion, but Peeping does put the finishing touches, and SportsBetExpert find the donut into the breadstick. And so we talked about how the main battle is going to be between Brox and Consti, but if you think about it, SPE might not even give Brox the opportunity to really get active with that AWP, because if Brox gets that op up and then is constantly shut down by the peek off of top silo or even holding towards ramp and caught off guard by a flashbang, then that is a hefty investment and a lot of firepower down for Unreal Nightmare. And considering that there's still 3 members at the top of the charts for Unreal Nightmare, I don't think it'll be too big of an issue, but considering that it feels like a lot of their game plan relies on the op of Brox, it's going to create some questions later on.
Absolutely, and I think the one thing is what we need to add is Jenny's also being one of the heavy hitters so far. And Jenny is a good player. I love him to death. He's not usually the one to be on the top of the scoreboard here, but the fact that he's already having such a great start here on Nuke shows that really anybody on Unreal Nightmares can pop off at any sort of moment, and that's what you kind of need now in today's Counter-Strike meta sort of thing. So they got the boost outside, and it pays off perfectly in dividends. As Brox is able to even retreat as Modem goes down. Sharpie's actually going to get so much room here in towards Squeaky as the mix buy should pay off for the time being. But Shane is somewhat aware of this. He's hearing all this movement over in towards lobby that allows PP to make his way down secret. And maybe, just maybe, an opening for SBE. But the Mag 7 from Jenny has to make the magic happen. There's a headshot to find. He wants to stick around for maybe just a little bit more. Maybe try to recover the AK. Tags him down, but two shots to the chest. Infinite's still alive and kicking.
Yeah, that Mag 7, I know Sharpie is known for that one. But Jenny just showing us that it's deadly in anyone's hands. And I know that Sharpie does get some criticism from around the scene for wielding that weapon, but as it currently stands, it's done a lot more damage than SBE have been able to find in this round. Smoke towards Unbreakable will obscure the vision of Brox, and so now he has to make a decision. Does he opt for the ramp play and try to offer support towards this B-bomb site? Or does he try and still play hall monitor outside? But the first of the two options would be the proper decision, but Jackro finds information and is immediate with the backup.
Oh, Jackro needed to find at least one there, but he did do the damage on the Consti. So now it's just Shane with full HP. Brox still does have the AWP. I believe he heard Shane rotate out. Oh, he almost had the timing, but he's going to rotate down secret. Oh, dear. Brox is going to look back at this demo and be very frustrated because if he held that angle, this could be an entirely different result of this round. But it looks like him and Root, they want to give this a go. Consti's going to get in towards lobby. He's going to get the space needed, but actually, Brox looking to retreat already. And SBE finding themselves once more on the board.
Yeah, and it was a great play from Shane. We touched on how he was hearing all of the information towards lobby early on in this round. But the fact that Shane was able to gather that information and make a slow play back out onto the A bomb site after hearing the repositioning of Unreal Nightmare, I think speaks a lot to the heads-up plays that SportsBetExpert are very keen to. And I mean, even when Consti and Infinite are facing pressure from the vents, they're able to flush Jackro out. All things considered, Jackro is on a Desert Eagle, so shouldn't be too big of an issue, but still the heads-up awareness to be able to isolate that fight onto Jackro and immediately know that you can go up to the A bomb site, I think speaks numbers.
Well, they will save the AWP and M4 Blake, so at least they've got that going for him here. But not a not a lot of utility to work with either. So I would imagine the play call here has to be maybe going somewhat aggressive with that AWP, maybe even in towards lobby. As their outside presence has been given up, but actually it's going to be Brox to post up towards ramp room. Very aggressive, and this is a perfect spot for him to be in as a blind shot onto Shane. Forces an immediate man advantage, but that's going to stall things out for SBE. And they just want to hold a little bit longer. Sharpie's going to go down to Infinite over towards the other side of the map on A side. Jenny's going to eat that nade for a late dinner. He's got the Zeus, got a little cheeky with it as well. As SBE have to reevaluate their options.
I mean, Jenny does have the position to make that Zeus work its magic. However, SBE, the repositioning once more. And this is something that I was kind of touching on in the last round, is the ability from SBE to take the information that's in front of them and really adapt to the scenario that they're being put in. And I think that with Brox being posted towards ramp, it forces them to back up. They don't want to go peeking one by one into that op, and so they're going to regather themselves and try to cross down secret. Brock's not going to be able to find any sort of information visually, but does hear the audio of all three members walking down, and Brox is actually looking to find the flank, but Jackra's already down with the P250.
This is going to be a very interesting fight. All he can really do is run. Brox able to find one, make things still costly for him. He's able to find another. Yes, he can. There's Brox, the heavy hitter for the Unreal Nightmares roster. Now Infinite has to shoot up the ladder. Get that bomb down on that A side. But here comes Brox. He's holding on W right on through. A missed shot will cost him. And it's going to be Modem to come around, but it's Brox once again. The USP from Jenny does it. And a quad kill for Brox, and Jenny will save the day for Unreal Nightmare. And look at this.
Oh, nah.
Shooting the question mark as well. A little bit of BM very early on Nuke. Oh, man.
Wow. And I mean, I was just kind of giving praise to the adaptability of a sports bet expert, but the fact that Brox is able to just kind of single-handedly dismantle the fast maneuvers that SBE were trying to pull off, I think speaks numbers to that battle that we were talking about earlier between Brox and Consti specifically, but more so Brox in general, as this is going to be a time for him to really show how far Brox has grown as a player, as an opper, and how his thought process has kind of evolved, I think, is the general synopsis of it. Because Brox, when I first watched or saw him get added to this core of Jackro, Sharpie, and I think it was Toasty at the time,
Yes.
was a very not indecisive, but kind of reckless style of opper, and his mechanics were there to kind of bail him out when necessary. But now that Brox has been able to evolve and play against the level of competition that's required to really become a mature player, I think it's phenomenal to see the decisions he's making and the fact that the mechanics back it up.
Well, right off the bat here, I mean, absolutely stellar showing from Unreal Nightmare. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they're currently 3-2 in league this season. SportsBetExpert currently undefeated. Still plenty of rounds to play with, though. Shane's going to make some presence all the way in towards the hut position. Might try and explode out of A here, and everyone's going to be caught off guard. A beautiful entry from Shane. Jacko's going to be able to find one from above and able to retreat out. Go it back to the 4v4. Root's going to go through the smoke, though, gets caught off by beeping. An infinite, oh my goodness, it's just all headshots, all kills for SBE. Jacko trying to go for the hero play. But off the back of a Shane timing, SBE find the third.
Yeah, and I think that SportsBetExpert have been able to find the keys to success after rounds of failure, and that goes back to the topic that I made. As much as I sound like a broken record as their adaptability, I think they've bought a level of respect from Unreal Nightmare in terms of their fast maneuvers around the map, but being caught off guard by a quick right hook, I think, is the best way we can put that round. And so in round 9, it's going to be an awkward buy from Unreal Nightmare. We see Jenny actually has a secondary op for Unreal Nightmare, which is a little bit interesting considering that Brox is the main opera. I don't think I've seen too much of Jenny on the op, but I do expect it to be just as deadly. Brox playing hall monitor towards outside. Jenny teeter-tottering on the danger zone.
I believe. I've seen Jenny up at Pugs, man. He can hit a flick. He's waiting for it. He's in a prime position. They have to peek into his crosshair unless they throw a perfectly placed flash. Oh, but another boost pays off. Wow, you don't really get to see that every day. Missed shot from Jenny over towards ramp. And Jack with mag 7. Things are getting a little bit costly here for SBE. As they have to default down towards A. Shane's going to get dicked by the mag 7. At least Drew's able to find one. It's a 2v3. Shane is tagged down to 12 HP, but Fox finds Shane as well. Consti into another clutch. Once again, without his signature weapon, AK in hand. Oh, Brox almost falls to his death, but again, around Unreal Nightmares have absolutely no business winning. As SportsBetExpert once again on the back foot and back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where we're going to see an immediate change-up from SportsBetExpert rather than just sending one player towards outside to really be a thorn in the side and sending the rest of the squad back towards ramp to contest against Jenny's op. I think that there's going to be a very big turn of events from SportsBetExpert. I'm almost expecting some sort of set play, whether that's a replication of the A-pop we saw or even just more firepower focused towards ramp, but I also could see them just trying to cross all 5 outside because that's not something we've seen all too often from SportsBetExpert. And I think they need to give Unreal Nightmare a different look because if Unreal Nightmare are able to secure 7 here, then I think that this is going to be a very successful first half from them.
They're sticking with the double op too. I like this. They're feeling themselves, Blake. I mean, they are really enjoying the CT side so far. Getting to find these openings and everything of that sort. It's just working so damn well for them. They do have got the outside smokes though. Modem is going to be on top of Mini. As Brox, he's looking for this fight. But Modem has experience that should reign supreme here. Doesn't want to peek into this, but will he know Brox is in that CT position? That does allow a couple players from SBE to get down towards Secret. But look at this aggression out of lobby from Unreal Nightmares. It's a bit of trade and territory here. It's a 5 versus 4. And a boost. Lots of boosts tonight. It seems as double will be cleared. It is quite fascinating. You know, you usually don't really see too many boosts on a map like Nuke, but we've already seen like 3 tonight, so we gotta see if this continues to be so.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that goes to show the creativity, whether individually or as a team, from each of these teams. But
Oh, Jenny's
now
aware.
SportsBetExpert have taken the silent approach all the way down secret. Jenny has an op close by, but oh, it's Consti, the executioner, and completely guillotines him. Autumn able to spot the flank, but 25 seconds left on the clock, and Infinite should be punching these numbers in relatively soon.
Retakes on. Got some utility to work with. Chakra's got a molly. Maybe throw it at the back of the site. Sharpie's going to take down. Infinite will call this. Peeping's over towards that clock position. And here they come. It's everybody from Unreal Nightmare to kind of funnel through the dividing walls here. But Infinite with the whip around. Able to find one, but it's going to be the long range of Peeping and Infinite to shut things down. SportsBetExpert climbed to a fourth, and they're starting to find their form on this T side.
Yeah, Infinite, the experience showing communication is key in that certain moment so that Peeping can offer assistance, but the individual mechanics from Infinite are on point, whipping between both angles, and knowing that where one comes, more are going to follow. Round 11, surely to be an awkward one from Unreal Nightmare. We saw Sharpie pick up the Mag 7 for just a second, but Unreal Nightmare are going to offer up a full, what I would say is an eco. Sharpie has a Desert Eagle, and so more so just wanting to get the finances all in check before the last round of play. But look at the play from Unreal Nightmare. Sharpie's on top of Big Garage, and the rest of the Nightmare is going to come towards outside. It's a 4-man push. And there's been a player spotted on top T roof. Infinite's going to play Hall Monitor back towards the lobby, but is definitely hearing everything. And Consti hits the floor, Peeping there for the trade, but still the USPs are everywhere. Rue next on the chopping block, but the double swing comes in, and Brox is able to convert. That's an AK-47 for the taking, but as Modem activates out of fake vent, he will take 3 down with him.
Yeah, that triple from Modem is absolutely huge there. It looked like for a moment SBE were starting to stumble in that round, especially Peeping. I think he was very close up and personal. With those two guys in, Squeaky goes down, makes things very costly for them, but it is the last round of the half, so there's still plenty of cash to flow around the rest of the roster. We will see Consti pull up the AWP to start with, and Brox as well. I mean, Brox is the heavy hitter tonight. Once again, for Unreal Nightmare, 15-6 for him.
And I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen the T-sided op out of Consti a little bit sooner. Maybe due to the finances being a little bit awkward, but still, I would have liked to see Consti try and get aggressive with the AWP to try and combat some of these Unreal Nightmare players, but 2 frags go either way, and SportsBetExpert off rip find themselves with a singular man advantage. Brox is thinking about going up the vent and would be at a good timing to do so, but is still just got the leash on and waiting for the go-ahead.
Oh, he made the noise. Oh, Brox! The shotgun up through the bladder. Oh, it's absolutely perfect to perfection. But now under the pressure, Shane is in the hut. And Infinite is slowly creeping up on him. Brox isn't going to be ready for this whatsoever. It's up to Rue, the man, the myth, the legend, looking to stand up and tell SBE to sit down. Gets the dink on Infinite. Infinite's forced to back off. Low HP.
Oh, no way he
him.
calls this.
He's got us.
He's calling the bluff.
The defuse. Oh, Infinite. He's not ready for this whatsoever. Rue, he might have this. Oh my goodness. Rue gets the ninja defuse from hell as SBE fall to 5-7.
Yeah, and I mean, I talked about how Infinite has loads and loads of experience, and I think that in that specific moment, Infinite's gut was telling him that there is going to be a hunt after the tap, especially with the double tap, and so a bold play from Rue is going to secure Unreal Nightmare a lead going into the second half. But as the tech pause comes in, I mean, Zeph, I feel like we've already seen it all in one half of play, but now it's up to Unreal Nightmare to put the pedal to the metal and just try to outmaneuver SportsBetExpert, because I feel like if there's any place where SBE is going to thrive, it's going to be here on the CT side of Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly correct. I mean, Unreal Nightmare, the 2 times that they have played Nuke, their T side has been 42%. Not great, but not terrible. So we got to wait and see what they have in store for us. I mean, once again, when you have a player like Brox who's already popping off, Jenny chiming in as well, and a good supporting cast, I mean, I feel like the sky is the limit. But, I mean, again, the players that they're facing on the opposite side of the server, Peeping, Consti, Infinite, I mean, just those 3 alone, it is absolutely terrifying. And one thing of note as well, Shane has disconnected from the server. Now, I do know in a previous SBE matchups, they were having a bit of DDoS issues, unfortunately, for Shane in particular. So hopefully that is not the case here. As again, it is a tech pause. But for those just joining the stream, I mean, this is Unreal Nightmare versus SportsBet in a best of 1. And what a first half it's been.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a crazy amount of boosts, whether that was from the CT side, down secret, or even deep into the T side. We saw the ninja defuse from Rue, which I don't even necessarily want to call a ninja defuse, more just a calling of the bluff from himself. And then we saw Brox really lay down the hammer with the AWP, where Consti wasn't necessarily as present with his own. I mean, Consti found a few frags later in the half, but like I said, I still would have liked to see an op be put into the server earlier for Sportsbet Expert. But now this is where Consti should have the economy focused around him and then have that op gifted into his hands. But I also know that Brox isn't going to shy away from a T-sided opportunity whatsoever. And I mean, considering that he's 16-7 currently leading the scoreboard for Unreal Nightmare, I think that Unreal Nightmare couldn't have asked for a better position to be in going into the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, if they're able to get the cherry on top and get this pistol, even convert that second round, that goes to a 9-5 score line potentially. And then from there, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, they're in the lead for now. But again, this is Sportsbet Expert. This is a team that has been around for a couple, maybe about a year and a half now at this point, with different iterations of their roster. But every time they add a new player, they clearly have the experience needed to go the distance. We've already seen them make this grand final over at Frag St. Clair. We've seen them make a couple finals really at Frag, a couple finals in ECL as well. So I mean, this is a team. I feel like even though they're down, they're still not out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that the 5-0 advanced record speaks numbers for Sportsbet Expert, and Unreal Nightmare clearly giving them a run for their money. But whether or not the second half is going to play out as expected, I think becomes the next question, because Unreal Nightmare have looked really well, except for against the set plays on the T side. But Sportsbet Expert, like I said in the past, I'm expecting some big things out of their CT side, especially with the experience that they have with Infinite, Modem, even Peeping. And I think that they will be able to cross over the line and finish this one off, because on paper, you would expect Sportsbet Expert to be able to single handedly take this with ease. But in reality, Unreal Nightmare have been essentially the nightmare of Sportsbet Expert in this first half. Like I said, we saw some great set plays from SBE early, but you can't really rely on the set plays going into the CT side.
Yeah, and well, gonna have to wait and see as we finally get to see Sportsbet Experts CT side. Right off the bat, they want to hit ramp room. Shane's here with the dualies. Able to find one. Looking to find a second one. Unfortunately, just eliminated by Brox. Infinite over from J-Hall. Chimes in for one of his own. Back into the 3 versus 3. His Unreal Nightmares have to try and find this push. And there's Consti going aggressive into lobby, but is forced to back off. Peeping up the vent, able to support his teammate. But Unreal Nightmare hit the pause and try and reevaluate their options.
Yeah, and Jackrow still has plenty of utility. Infinite walking all the way through ramp will gather information that the remainder of the Unreal Nightmare have to be corralling towards outside, but he is a lot quicker on the heels than I think Unreal Nightmare are expecting, especially with that short little sprint he's able to offer up. And so if Infinite continues his charge silently, then he might be able to catch all 3 members off guard, but the timing is going to be a little bit awkward because Unreal Nightmare have put the pedal to the metal, and now they have secret control. Infinite's silent approach has really kind of bit him in the ass, but Jenny and Rue both double up for kills of their own, and then Infinite is kind of left wondering where this hit is going to be. The information is there that the rotation has made it all the way up to the A bomb site, but considering he's in the 1v3, he's going to have to pull off a miracle for the 4K and the defuse and the round win.
Should be absolutely no way he's able to win this. I mean, he's got no kit. Time's not really on his side here. He's going to have to hope that a huge misplay out of Unreal Nightmare comes to fruition. As Jenny is looking up at heaven. Oh, there's a good tap to start things off, but Rue able to transition and take the kill for himself. It's an 8-5 scoreline here for Unreal Nightmares. They've gotten both pistols now.
Yeah, both pistols, and so a great start to the T side of Nuke, and that will allow them to kind of furnish this next round 14. Meanwhile, Sportsbet Expert can really only afford to offer up upgraded pistols, and you'll see that Peeping Shane and Modem and Infinite for that matter will all offer up upgraded pistols, but still I think that each of these individuals are very deadly with the Desert Eagles. I mean, Modem has a P250, which I don't think will be too much of an issue to wrangle, and like I was just saying, Peeping ripping the head off of Rue.
Why not? Had some flair to it. Looking for another one, though. Not able to connect this time. Just barely able to escape with his life. But no smoke to cross. Be sure you've got the weapons to take this fight. But after seeing Peeping do what he can with that deagle, Might not be worth it. Brock's a little bit out in the open, though, with the bomb. Sharpie's made his way all the way around Warehouse, looking to maybe try and catch Consti on an off angle. It's Unreal Nightmare. Well, start to slow things down. They've already lost Rue, but they don't want to lose anybody else. They don't want to make this any sort of huge deficit for them, money-wise. They've gotten full CT control. They've fully wrapped around this A site. Look to put the pincer maneuver onto Shane.
Yeah, but Shane is already starting his approach into lobby. Has completely cleared it out, so that's information that the outside play has to come in through. And with Shane turning his back, wanting to go back into the site, he's concerned about the heaven drop, but still there's a flank at his back. Sharpie collects his second kill in round 14 and is looking for a third, but after an awkward exchange with that upgraded pistol, will make the evacuation route back up to the A-bomb site where Shane awaits, but he is only good for one. The backstab is immediate, and Modem has a Desert Eagle to try and even the line.
Here we go. Unreal Nightmare now up 9-5. They are going to have to face the full buy here against SBE. And I mean, yeah, we see the AUG on Consti. And the one thing to note, I just briefly want to mention this with the AUG. I feel like we started to see it kind of be brought more back into play in the last couple months, I would say, for the season. Because in a weird way, if you're not able to buy the AUG, buy the AUG, you know? I mean, sure, the Kree's still not really as good, but at least the AUG, you can hold an angle pretty well like it's an op, you know? Perfect.
Oh no, hold on, I have to break the cast. I have to read the gifted sub from Bonamon.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Bonamon gifting a sub to I come while my dad watches, but the only thing that Rue is going to be watching is the crosshair as peeping hits the floor. Consti good for the trade. That AUG putting in work exactly how you mentioned, and so with the man advantage, Brox has been able to take some space out on the A-bomb site, but there's still a player backside, and that's going to be Shane. He's been successful at holding the line in the past, but will have to pull it off one additional time. Whoa, and Infinite has been able to slip under the nose.
Oh, they're not going to expect Infinite. This is the power play maneuver here. Brox has gone down in mini. Jenny's going to be coming through the hut position, and yeah, it's going to be picked apart one by one. So SBE have 3 alive at the end of the round, and picked up 2 AKs as well, and kept the most expensive weapon, including. So far, so good for SBE. This is their chance now to get things going in this map. Right now, I mean, looks like it's a bit of a discussion going on with the buys. Yeah, it looks like a late buy coming through here from the rest of the Unreal Nightmare squad.
Yeah, an Unreal Nightmare just trying to, I think, even the numbers in terms of bank accounts come. Upgraded pistols for everyone except for Rue, Jackro, and Jenny, which they were able to afford rifles. Bonamont gifting a sub to my mommy milks me. Fair enough. Round 16 starts with a early corral back towards ramp, and if it's the only player to try and make somewhat of a defense. He's dropped the defensive smoke, and Unreal Nightmare are not going to be phased from it whatsoever.
Casey's making this so hard to cast right now. Alright, here they come. Here's Consti with the AUG, able to find one, but Infinite with a double to keep things clean as he finds the triple. Jackro into a 1 versus 3. No health on him, and the round collapses for Unreal Nightmares. SBE come out on top, 7-9, building some momentum now for him, and more importantly, building the cash for him.
Yeah, and speaking of that cash, Shane, with I believe that is $6,100, should have an opportunity to drop the op to Consti, but that will not be the decision, surprisingly. And I'm almost wondering or curious as to why that isn't the actual case, because, I mean, Consti is a force to be reckoned with on that AWP, and so for him to not be either dropped it early or even purchasing it for himself feels a little bit concerning, whether that's due to the confidence that Consti's playing with, or even maybe just some being a little bit more comfortable with the AUG. Who knows at this point, but SBE now 2 rounds away from tying us up at 9-all, and round 17 is going to be an uphill battle for Unreal Nightmare.
Yeah, and I know SBE, they've kind of struggled with these type of rounds on that first half, but surely this does not happen again, though. A nice beat from Jenny. Yep, it's a nice, easy cleanup on the hands of Modem. SBE up to 8, closing that distance against Unreal Nightmare. They will be able to get a full buyout once again, but no AWP yet on Brox. And I feel like here what they need to do is they've tried ramp room. They're not really getting any pressure, really. You know, you can try going outside. It doesn't really seem to work. I mean, SBE, they've really locked down these extremities on Nuke. There is one site. remains an option.
Yeah, and I'm still interested to see how Unreal Nightmare are actually going to approach some of this outside control, because they haven't had a real opportunity to really heavily contest it other than on the upgraded pistols. But in this round here, it's going to be a little bit of a parking brake round. Unreal Nightmare just waiting for any overzealous pushes from SportsBetExpert, but considering we talked about the experience that they have at their belt, it's not going to come all that easy to force SportsBetExpert out of position. A division of attention is there, though, as Jenny and Sharpie go 2 for 2. A resmoke of mini position completely blocks off Consti and Peeping, but there's still a threat looming in the heavens, being Infinite.
He's just waiting to activate here. Peeping's going to move into position. And I like this from SBE. They're taking their time, letting themselves get into the retake spots. A nade towards heaven will do the damage necessary, but there's no utility to hold this off from Unreal Nightmare. So here they come, flashing themselves right on through. That's a huge kill for Rita Prime, but a quick trade from Peeping. As Brock's able to take down Peeping, that is. Infinite now into the clutch, 1 versus 2. He's had a hell of a game so far, but can he do it once again against Sharpie, who's holding his nerve, not going for the peak? As time has expired, Unreal Nightmare hit double digits.
Yeah, hit double digits indeed, and only need 3 more to close this out against SportsBetExpert, which I'm assuming most would call an upset of Season 58, because it feels like we haven't seen too many of those. I mean, we saw some amazing Round 1 matchups. Specifically, I want to touch on Villainous and Regain, where it felt like Villainous were kind of on the lower deck in terms of the odds, if you will say. But here and now, I feel like this is the matchup that you're watching if you're a fan of North American Advance. And Unreal Nightmare now only need 3, but Consti is on his weapon of choice, the AWP making an appearance, but Peeping getting aggressive towards outside. It's going to be an all-out ramp play, but Infinite has to try and wrangle the spray. Able to collect 2 kills early on, but the immediate trade comes in from Brox. And Unreal Nightmare still not too angsty to get down to this B-bomb site.
It's okay to get 1 there. It's even better to find 2. It's Infinite will go down, but gives some life to SBE as Peeping's going to be closing in and putting the fangs here onto Unreal Nightmare as he's going to get 2 freebies. Nobody's going to clear him. And it is the man, the myth, the Brox, 1 versus 4 as he finds 2. Okay. Things are getting a little bit sketchy now for SBE as Brox has found the opening 2. He's already got 3 in the round. Consti is up in heaven. They've got Modem down in lower, so he's got 2 1v1s that could really go his way. Plenty of time to work with as well. And even better, he's got the bomb on his back. If he goes up the ladder, though, Consti should be able to see him, as he is suspecting this is a possibility. Oh, but the timing, the timing's going to be good for him. Oh, he shuts it down. And it looked like for a moment, Brox was about to go on a tear.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising either, because we've seen some miracle rounds pulled out from Brox, whether it's in this round or in some of their prior matchups. But if there's anyone that's going to make you believe, it's going to be Brox. And SportsBetExpert, a little bit of a nail-biter, but still able to bring it back under control. Consti with that AWP starting to even out the scoreline, but SportsBetExpert now in what I would say is clear control of this second half of CS on Nuke. And I'm almost wondering if SportsBetExpert are going to continue with some of this outside aggression that they found early on, because it feels like that's been a big key to their success in these CT-sided rounds.
Well, they might have more success here as they've got nades at the ready. 3 members of SBE at the ready as well, as here they come. Unreal Nightmare walking into the crosshairs. It's going to be 3 quick frags for them. Only 1 in retaliation. Make it 2. Draco's able to find 1 with the Glock. It should be curtains for this round, as it's a 10-10 scoreline. SBE have clawed themselves back, looking to make things a little bit more intense. And, I mean, this, again, we were talking about, you know, Consti, he is one of the heavy hitters for this SBE lineup. So good in the clutch once again, especially with that AWP, of course. But he's been a bit quiet, I would say, here on Nuke, but not really that it's mattered when you have Modem and Peeping, and really Infinite stepping up massively.
Yeah, and I mean, Shane's been a major point of contention for SportsBetExpert in this specific map. I mean, Shane on the T side was a big information collector back towards lobby, and was able to kind of guide the team as to what areas of the map were clear and what areas of the map were going to be contested. And so I think that as we go into the CT side, he's going to serve some more of that role, and just kind of being a not necessarily shadow, but kind of force in the background to be a strong baseline of communication for SportsBetExpert. But Now they have essentially one more rifle round as Unreal Nightmare to really prove that they are in contention for this win, because if they lose here and now, then that should be the game for SportsBetExpert.
Ooh, Consti. Seemed like he wanted to open that door for him in Squeaky. But he decides against it for the time being. Outside smoke's underway. As SBE have gotten the information, as well as Modem's going to be pushing up secret to clear that nobody's going to be here for the time being. As the nades and the mollies will force him to delay just a little bit longer. There's another smoke to cross. Blooms flashed out. Modem able to find the opener. Good teamwork there from him and Peeping. As they steal a frag away, get that man advantage. Modem able to smoke things off and retreat as well, forcing Sharpie to retreat with the MAC-10.
Yeah, and I think this is where the mental of Unreal Nightmare is going to be tested. We've seen in the past where they start to let rounds go and get a little bit frustrated with some of the play. But I think that as this Unreal Nightmares roster has evolved, this is where we're going to get to really see them put to the test. And so, with 45 seconds coming up on 40 seconds left in round 21, and in the man disadvantage, they kind of have to gather their information, regroup, and figure out where they're going to approach. But it feels like that's going to be the A bomb side. Consti able to hold the line outside Squeaky door. Sharpie with flying MAC-10 converts a kill, but Shane also here to back up the op. It's Brox into the 1v3, but he's already been chipped down to 32 HP, and he's waiting for Modem to make an exit out of the vents. But Consti is the executioner and is the constant force for SportsBetExpert. It's an 11th round for them, and Bonamont gifting the sub to I go down more than your mom.
Dog. Well, either way, that might be the nail in the coffin here for Unreal Nightmares. They are having to force buy into this Tech 9s and a Deagle across the board. A couple bits of utility as well. Judging by this, looks like they might try and have to play for something fast. There they go. Right off the bat, the AUG once again. This time on the hands of Infinite, 20-9. And SBE, what can they do against this? Jenny's made his way all the way down secret, having little to no resistance whatsoever. And that might cause a bit of confusion here from SBE, as Modem, he's debating currently about jumping down, but nobody's committing for the time being. Infinite's giving away his position over towards Rant Room, committing towards SB bomb site. And that might have been the play here. Kaji's by his lonesome. He's in a one-and-done position here. If he goes down, that op can be picked up by Brox and make things oh so costly for SBE. There's a first one. Has to jump down and retreat.
Oh, he's able to,
good. But Modem coming in to save the day for him. Sharpie with a Deagle shot to shut things down before it can even begin. But Jenny and Lower finds a Tech 9 and the bomb.
Yeah, Sharpie has the bomb, the Desert Eagle, all the utility on Unreal Nightmare we're trying to work with, but as Sharpie peers the gaze back out of ramp, should hear the footsteps, and Consti should be on the chopping block, but no, if they both rotate, oh no, I'm in a shot from Sharpie, but he's able to find two instead! It's Peeping thrusted into the 1v2, and the op there for the taking, which Sharpie swiftly collects. But now Sharpie and Jenny, they're convinced that they want to make an entrance onto this A bomb site, but it would be their undoing. Peeping waits in the heavens, waiting to go striking, but it's a perfect maneuver from Unreal Nightmare. They make their way back down to the B bomb site, and the utility gives it away. Peeping has to be quick with this rotation, but the plant is going to be safe. But maybe not enough time for Sharpie to remaneuver.
He's got a nade. If he can able to nade at least one of them, tag them down, it could be costly. There's a tag. Gotta hold on to his rifle. The double peek out is good, and it's even better. Jenny will get them the 11th, but holy hell from Sharpie. Oh, the whiff play with the double deagle. Absolutely a huge turnaround for him. My God.
I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, other than not whiffing the first couple of shots, but Sharpie able to stay cool, calm, and collected and finish the task that he started. And that completely flips the economic situation for Unreal Nightmare as well. Brock's back onto the AWP, rifles across the board. And if you look over at SportsBetExpert, Infinite has drawn the short end of the stick, only has a 5-7, plenty of utility to work with, but he's going to have to really rely on that.
Man, and I mean, you got to look back at that previous round. I mean, that might be the life given the Unreal Nightmare to get them back into this game. As their T-side tapered off there, but an important time to find the round. Oh my God, you will never see that happen. When you whiff, it's always the shots where the players are not facing you is always the hardest, but the fact that he's able to find both eventually after the whiff is absolutely sensational. I cannot praise Sharpie enough for that. But it's going to be Unreal Nightmare now, primed in position, looking to try and wrap around in through Mini, maybe even go aggressive in towards Warehouse. Peeping flying through over on the top of Marshmallow, but it's up to Consti. Get the close range kill. And oh man, Consti is hungry for these op kills as he's barreled himself in towards the secret position.
And that op-on-op violence that we've been asking for all match finally starting to come to fruition, but Brox backing away back towards Africa. Consti surely to be flushed out by the Molotov, where Brox awaits for the swing, but Consti right into the crosshair, and Brox will be his undoing. It's a man disadvantage for Unreal Nightmare still, but Peeping is playing hall monitor towards outside, and Sharpie is about to walk into the crosshair, but he comes out on top. Even numbers across the board. More utility for Unreal Nightmare than for SBE, but Sharpie is taking space, and he's opting for the ladder play, which feels a little bit confusing, but it's just a facade. Jenny collects a kill down towards Secret, and so now SportsBetExpert, completely out of position, have forfeited this B site.
Oh yeah, and look at this as well. Infinite doesn't have a rifle. He's gonna have to try and pick one up off the ground. Only a 5.7 in hand. I mean, sure, it's an OP pistol to have in this stage of the game, but not really much to work with. He is able to recover the A1S, though, and SBE, they have to go for this here. They've got no money to work with, so they lose this round. I mean, it would have to be a huge misplay from Unreal Nightmare. And yeah, look at this. Shane, he's already called the save.
Yeah.
They're not going to go for this. This is going to be Unreal Nightmare going up 12-11 here on Nuke in this best of one.
And I mean, in what a fashion. I mean, the team play came out from Unreal Nightmare late. The Molotov to force Consti out of position. Jenny finding an isolated frag down Secret. And SportsBetExpert not budging on their rotation. So a very successful round if you're Unreal Nightmare. And Shane spotted on the rotation out. But he will be able to cut the losses and at least mitigate the bleeding that's ongoing.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, what a hell of a game we're witnessing here. And I mean, now SBE, they've got, of course, the two rifles that they saved in the previous round to bring over, but that forces the rest of the roster on to MP9s and SMGs. Now, for Unreal Nightmare, I feel like you have to play a little bit more slower paced here, play a little bit farther back, allow maybe a mistake on the side of SBE if they really want to certify this, because if this goes to overtime, that gives SBE so much more life to play with, as they're going to go aggressive outside. Peeping's going to play up close and personal here against Jackro, and Modem the same in lobby. Rue's going to swing into this and not expect this whatsoever, and even gets the escape out as well. Peeping outside finds the aggression too. With overtime looking more and more likely, as the MP9s will rain the damage and reign supreme, as Sharpie and Brox with it all to do.
Yeah, and just as you were talking about maybe playing it a little bit slower, but I feel like that's where the mistakes start to be drawn out for Unreal Nightmare when they start to overthink the situation. But Sharpie catches a spot back towards ramp. Infinite immediate with the drop. But Sharpie's looking to take space back into J-Hall as well. So maybe the B site, not the end goal for Unreal Nightmare, as they're swiftly going to go up the ladder. But Consti caught off guard, able to wrangle the AK spray to find two. And we are heading to overtime. All 24 and more required.
Oh, man, that is absolutely sensational from SBE to find themselves after such grueling loses, unfortunately, in those couple rounds. Of course, you have to go back to that Sharpie double D. I mean, just when they thought they had the round in the palm of their hand to get match point, it's instantly ripped away from them at the hands of Young Sharp. And now, speaking of which, I mean, Consti, he's now up to 20 frags as well. He's come alive at the perfect time for SBE. He's now able to reinvest and get that big green to start things off. And I mean, overtime, again, we said it. We said it perfectly. It now brings a whole new life for this SBE lineup. The pressure's off their shoulders. It's essentially a brand new game for them here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. But like I said, Unreal Nightmare can't really slow their roll. They have to stick with the game plan they've been enacting up to this point, because when they start to overthink things, that's where they start to make mistakes. And SBE, definitely able to capitalize, have been able to do that in the past, and I don't foresee them faltering at that task here and now. And while we have a little bit of dead time, I'll give a thank you to Robert Finkelberry for the gifted subs, and Bonamont with another sub to Amaranth's Beef Curtains. But Sharpie closes the curtains on Modem. A swift headshot.
On, man.
Man advantage for Unreal Nightmare. Jenny converts a kill out into the A bomb site, but Shane immediate with the refrag and tries to drop back into HUD, but goes for the reswing and is successful. That's the AWP down for Unreal Nightmare, and I don't foresee anyone trying to reclaim it.
Not at all. Still a 3-on-3. Still anybody's round here. Sharpie's just making the noise over towards me. But look at Jackro! Raining death from above! Takes down Shane! That's the A site open for business. And Sharpie's going to be having to wrap it all the way around again. Kazi's going to be okay. It looked like for a moment they were going to try and wrap back to the lobby, but Kazi's made his way in towards there. That's another huge kill for Jackro as the big man makes the big play for Unreal Nightmare. But Kazi, 1 versus 3, once again, another clutch for him. He's 0 for 2 in it so far here on Nuke, but can he make it 1 for 3? Looking to re-maneuver himself over here. Oh, he's found the timing, but Jackro's found it even more. That's Unreal Nightmare finding the first round in overtime.
And I mean, each and every round that we get to watch in this matchup is an absolute nail-biter. I mean, whether it's the individual plays from anyone in the server or even just the craziness that we've been witnessing. I mean, this is what you live for, whether you're a Counter-Strike player, a Counter-Strike fan. I mean, if you're us, Zeph, casting this game, it's exactly what you want in a matchup of Nuke. And Unreal Nightmare, I mean, having what feels like a second win as we've entered into overtime, because it feels like they're a completely new phase. They noticed that they were overthinking a little bit too much towards the end of regulation and have started to kick it right back into high gear.
And it's not even like anybody that's playing, like having an off game or anything like that. The big four, they're all fracking. They all have 20+ kills each. So this is an outstanding showing here from Unreal Nightmare, even if it were to somehow come into a lose here. But Sharpie looking to make things into a win. He takes down the Opera of Consti with a long-range AK kill into CT. Sharpie looking for another angle here. Spots out peeping over towards Mini. Calls being made. He wants to try and take this fight, get this man advantage once again, but Sharpie with another. He's coming alive when it matters most for Unreal Nightmare. And this might be the nightmare for SBE as Sharpie's looking to do it single-handedly and outside. Another one for him. Oh, Lord, Sharpie putting it into ink as Jackro finds Infinite as the round is absolutely collapsed here. As Shane goes down to the molly as well. This is 14 for Unreal Nightmare.
14, 3 kills for Sharpie, the hat trick for him. And I mean, the one thing that's concerning is the fact that Consti's not able to convert that kill, has the AWP in hand. Sharpie offers up the first 3 bullets out of the AK-47 and even has time to let the spray reset. So if we're going to let that sink in, that shows that Consti isn't necessarily as hot with that op, and it feels understandable that he was using that AUG earlier in the match. But still, we have a whole nother half of overtime to go and 1 round left of this first half of overtime 1. That SportsBetExpert can try to close the gap before we switch sides.
And a 4-man setup towards outside here for Unreal Nightmare. As SBE, they've given this full control. They at least have 1 player in Consti towards ramp room for the time being. They've got Infinite over in the back of Warehouse in that Nico position. The molly towards Secret. And I'm going to have to imagine here, just based off of how they're positioning themselves, they might try and hit Mini very early on. They've got the smoke faded. Infinite has spotted Jackro. Finds that easy kill for him. The smokes are divided. Consti over towards ramp finds Jenny in that lurk position. A bit of a gap in the smoke there from Odom. And it's easy pickings for the whole SBE squad. So now it's just Brox and Sharpie. 2 versus 5, not a single tick of damage. Well, actually, excuse me. Infinite has taken down a 92. Trying to work themselves through this clutch. Lots of noise being made here for him. SBE, they're all going to hear this, and they're all going to start to rotate down.
You would think, but they've given plenty of time for Unreal Nightmare to buy space into this bomb site. Brock still has to plant the bomb, but actually he's going to opt for the toss back to Sharpie, and it feels understandable because Brox can hold the line and let Sharpie know where a majority of the reinforcements are coming from. It's going to be a 4-man push out of ramp. Brock's able to collect the first, but Sharpie's still close by, has an opportunity to spoil this retake for SportsBetExpert. He swings wide, can't wrangle the spray in time, and Shane shuts him down. It's Brock's into the 1v3, and he converts the first. It's 100% doable, especially when Infinite and Shane are both low HP. The pistol is all that's required, but Brox finds the backstab and is sprayed down through the smoke. It's Shane to give a 13th to SportsBetExpert before the second half of overtime 1.
Oh, that was absolutely possible. Oh my goodness, the fact. Oh, I'm in astoundment that Sharpie's able to get 1 there. Even does the damage necessary, gives him the layup for the clutch potential. And sure, he's not able to find it, but goddamn, that was a 2 versus 5 SBE. I'm sure a little bit shaken by that round. Once again, onto their T side, and we have to go back all the way to that first half, Blaker. And I mean, their T side, it wasn't really to perfection. They were losing rounds. They really shouldn't be losing against full save weapons.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm biting my nails. My heart rate is up. We're seeing it all. And a team that you would not expect to be able to make it this close in Unreal Nightmare.
Another boost. They're going for it again. Brox, do it. Yes, the flash is good, but Brox is just not good enough to find that flick, but it's A-okay. He's going to go for another one as well. Brox is feeling himself, but Modem able to execute him. And now Rue's had to reposition over towards CT position, playing very passively as he knows Peeping might try and go aggressive through the warehouse as he's done so frequently in that first half. As Jacko now has to back off of Mini as well. They've got to rely on play towards these bomb sites. So sound cue's made, Modem's jumped off, and it looks like they might try to wrap around here. Sharpie's found so much ground in towards lobby. This is massive for him, and oh yeah, Peeping, he's not gonna expect the deep play out of Rue this late in the game. Blocking off this heaven flank every which way.
Bottom has a good position though.
Is Rue gonna expect this angle though? That is incredible! How does he expect that? And look at this, Infinite's gonna crouch below too, so it looks like they're trying to go for the double peek here and give Infinite the chance to swing into position, and Modem finally catches him off guard. And that opens up this heaven flank potential, but they've opted to go in for it towards ramp. Jenny's gonna be over here with the big green as well. We saw him use it a little bit earlier on this CT side, and he's looking to find the flick. Yes, he can. Punches through the rock in a hard place as he tries to find the flick. A little bit of a shake of the mouse there, though, as Modem's doing it single-handedly. Consti chimes in one of his own. But Jacko into a 1 versus 3. Time, 15 seconds remaining. It's going to be a huge kill to find. That's the bomb going down, but Consti, cool, calm, and collected, finds the kill, and it's 14 all.
I thought there was a world where Jacko finds that 1 kill and immediately backs up. And that could have been a round winner as well, because considering how far separated the bomb was from the rest of his squad, there was definitely a world where SportsBetExpert don't get the numbers punched in. But alas, we will never see that outcome. SportsBetExpert tie us up at 14. It's round 5 of overtime 1. And Brock's still on the AWP. Shouldn't be too dissuaded in terms of confidence, and of course, as I say that, he's getting very aggressive towards outside, but SportsBetExpert, the same exact thing for them. A full-on A hit from just Peeping himself. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad is corralled back towards ramp. And surely the footsteps are being heard, but both Unreal Nightmare and SportsBetExpert have access to quick rotations down to the speed bomb site, so we should be up for a head-on collision.
It was a bait and switch. They had PP just run out A, forcing that rotation off that B site, but it's going to be perfect. His 2 kills go in the favor of Unreal Nightmare, and they're making this oh so costly, but finally Brox goes down. A 2 versus 2 turns to a 1 versus 2 as Modem's low HP through the molly, comes through looking to find the kill, has to retreat. Modem's on 15 HP. He knows where Rue is, but does he know where Jenny is? As he's lurking behind, the bomb is down, able to be picked up though. As Modem has no maneuvering room whatsoever. That's Unreal Nightmare having their second attempt at a match point.
Second attempt, and I mean, the fact that Rue is able to find that initial frag, go for a peek so wide onto Modem towards ramp, and then immediately back up into the double doors creates even more ambiguity into the mind of Modem, even more possibilities that he has to try and work through. But Unreal Nightmare starting to come alive as a team as we've hit the later stages of these matches. And all it takes is 1 round for them to provide the upset. But SportsBetExpert not backing down, not shy from a difficult task themselves. And Consti back onto the AWP, the weapon of choice. SportsBetExpert, a pump of the brakes, maybe even late smokes towards outside, but Rue hasn't been spotted just yet and will be. Will rip the head off of Modem instead and is able to get away with all but a scratch on the knee.
Oh, that is incredible. Rue's able to find that kill and able to back off and stay alive. That's perfect action from him there. And Sharpie on the flank again. He's been oh so good at these flanks in lobby. That's a double man advantage here for SBE. Make it a triple as Unreal Nightmare in the kingdom of NACS. Anything is possible, and the Kings might be toppled here as Consti and Infinite 2 versus 4 have to do it all as Infinite finds Jackro. He is low HP. Consti does have that big green on him, but Sharpie's now moved into position towards the vent room position. Doesn't want to go for the swing. He's able to find it. Unreal Nightmare on the cusp of it. Sharpie does it, and Unreal Nightmare, they upset SBE. They give them their first loss of the season, and oh my god, what a way to do it.
What a way to do it, and props to Sharpie for just letting it all hang out on the last round of play. I mean, Zeph, What a privilege that we got to watch this match. That's all I can say. We saw it all. We saw the crafty boosts. We saw the calls of bluffs from Rue. We saw the individual prowess from everyone in the server. And I mean, the fact that Unreal Nightmare are the team to pull off Sportsbet Expert's first loss in ESEA Season 50, I think speaks numbers to that roster as a whole and to their newest addition of Rue slotting in relatively flawlessly.
Absolutely. I mean, what a pickup for them to find Rue here. And sure, he didn't have the flashiest game, but he was able to put his teammates in very good positions to really put the pressure onto SBE and kind of force them back very early on. I mean, we saw that first half. We talk about it very frequently, obviously, throughout this matchup. It was a 7-5 scoreline, if I'm not mistaken. But Unreal Nightmare, they really were a nightmare for SBE on their CT side. I mean, it really felt like they tried to do one thing. And I mean, Unreal Nightmare had a very, very good counter for it. And not even that, but it was also, I gotta give a shout out to Jenny. That man stepped the fuck up, excuse my language, but he was absolutely sensational. Brox as well. I mean, that dynamic duo for Unreal Nightmare was absolutely beautiful to witness.
Yeah, and I also think we should mention that it's not, this win isn't so monumental for Unreal Nightmare necessarily because I don't want to say that they didn't do anything special, but more so because Sportsbet Expert has the experience under the belt. And this is, like we mentioned at the very beginning, a good baseline test for them to see how they're fitting in Rue and how each of the individuals are performing mechanically against some of the cream of the crop of North America. But holy, I mean, an overtime win to give Unreal Nightmare their fourth win in Season 58, and then Sportsbet Expert turning the donut into the breadstick in the loss column. I mean, feels absolutely phenomenal if you're Unreal Nightmare.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A fantastic win for them. And I mean, we kind of have to talk about SBE here a little bit. I mean, this is a team that was within the top 100 on the VRS standing, and they just lost to, well, they still go by Revel on HLTV, but the Unreal Nightmare squad that are in the 300s. Now, I know it's online. Obviously, it's a big difference in disparity between LAN and online CS play. But I mean, do you have any like particular thoughts about SBE losing this matchup? Because I feel like you and I kind of coming into this, and as well as a good majority of the people, thought this was going to be a very convincing win for Sportsbet Expert. Not like a 13-4 or 13-5 or anything of that matter, but more like a 13-10, for instance.
You know, what I kind of draw this to for Sportsbet Expert is in the UFC or in MMA, when a fighter goes unbeaten for so long, they kind of forget how to lose. And so I think for Sportsbet Expert, this will be a great learning experience and an experience for them to kind of grow as a team, whether it was in the communications department, in some of the rotational based movements that they were making. But I think individually, everyone was firing on all cylinders. And you mentioned that in one of the overtime rounds, that it's not like any of the players weren't shooting back, weren't making good decisions. So I think that it just comes down to Sportsbet Expert going back to the drawing boards and figuring out what went wrong here in the later stages of the game, because a comeback from Sportsbet Expert was very well in the making, but Unreal Nightmare just shut it down.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken as well, so please correct me if I am wrong, I do believe Modem is currently a stand-in. I don't know if it's been officially announced he's going to be remaining a continuous member on the starting roster, if that makes sense. So ever since that Dare departure, I'm very curious to see what SBE have in lineup for their fifth player potential. But I mean, you know, this is a team, again, this is 4 players that were in that grand final over in St. Clair not even 2 months ago at this point, going against Energy, taking a map off them as well in very convincing fashion. And then now they're in this weird kind of limbo where they are still putting up the numbers. I mean, everybody on the squad was doing very well firepower-wise. It just kind of felt, I don't want to necessarily say disorganized per se in the mid-round strategy, but it kind of felt a little bit lost, dare I say.
I'd say rough around the edges. I don't want to say lost because I feel like that feels a little bit too harsh, because like we mentioned, Sportsbet Expert did look very well versed in a majority of these rounds. So I'd say that some of the edges just need to be cleaned up in terms of maybe some of the mid-rounding, maybe some of the team play that's going on around the map, but I still think that it's a monumental win for this Unreal Nightmare roster.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, every player on that Unreal Nightmare squad from beginning to end played their absolute hearts out. It was an exciting game of Counter-Strike to watch. It's something you really, truthfully, don't get to see too much in ESEA online. But, I mean, props to Unreal Nightmare taking the map and the series, he's the best of one, 16-14 on Nuke, and giving SBE their first loss of the season.
Yep, absolutely. But for the here and now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from us over here on the Blakert_CS channel. I hope you enjoyed the match as much as I know you and I did, Zeph, because that was an absolute slammer. If you like what you saw, make sure to drop me a follow here on Twitch and on Twitter. We also have Zeph. If you want to plug your Twitter real quick, it's ZephCasts, correct? Yeah,
Yes,
there we
at
go.
Zevcast. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So make sure to follow me and Zeph on Twitter. We've also had the wonderful Exploding behind the camera, giving you all the fancy camera angles. And until next week, we are done for our ESEA League coverage for the week. So yeah, we will catch you guys on the flip.